Swachh Bharat Abhiyan is national agenda, and everybody's talking about it. I only have a plan A, and I think that was one of the main things that kept me focused because I never had a plan B. People laughed at me. A lot of people put me down.
The story behind starting what you started, how did that happen? What was your inspiration? And yeah, I mean, there's an interesting story I know, so I would like you to share that story.
So first of all, thank you very much, Rahul, for inviting me here, and Pooja, great, lovely meeting you, and thank you, Mr. Shah, for having me here to talk about my story. And it's wonderful to be in a small group of people who are very focused about entrepreneurship. Most people get out of business school, they want to take up a career in finance and marketing, work for some big names, and then when you suddenly decide that you want to work with toilets, obviously it's quite a startling shock for many people. And people laughed at me, a lot of people put me down, but my focus was very clear, and I was telling you inside that I had a blueprint in my mind. I had a 25-year blueprint that what am I going to do for the next 25 years. It was in my mind. It was a picture, it was a painting, let's put it that way. And when I started, when I started my business, people used to ask me that, okay, so what if you fail in this, then what else will you do? I said, I don't have a plan B. I only have a plan A. And I think that was one of the main things that kept me focused because I never had a plan B. So I had to succeed in planning. Sanitation hasn't been very successful in terms of execution, or only in the last 10-12 years has it actually taken off. And before that, nobody even talked about it. Honestly, it was considered a dirty word. When you talked about toilets, it was like, oh, okay, okay, whatever. I mean, nobody even talked about it. Today, it is national agenda. It's not just toilets. It's the toilets. It is the disposal system. It is the treatment. It is the byproducts or the resources that come out of it. The business models around it. And trust me, it's a $60 billion industry in India alone. 60 billion. It's not something which is dirty. It's not something which is below your dignity, because every job, every work that you do is, I think, is great. It's if it's going to help the country, if it's going to help you generate revenue, if it's going to help generate jobs, I think at the end of the day, that is what is desired. I always say that every human being, in Marathi, there's a word called Devat. You have a God inside of you, right? Everybody has a God. You have a God. I have a God. She have. So that God inside each of us has to be sort of recalled, has to be called out. Not everybody probably finds that God. I believe that in me, my God is this sanitation work that I'm doing, and I have been sent by God to do this job because it seems that I'm successful at it, and it's helping people.
Right.
So for me, I believe very strongly that this is the God in me.